Hello, everyone, and as always, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. Today, it's back into Gary Grigsby's War in the Pacific Admirals Edition. This is our Let's Play by email with the devilish Mr. Lodrick, and it is now February 9th, 1942. We're going to see the combat resolutions for the 9th and the 10th, playing 2-day turns which I've really learned a lot about during this game. I had never played 2-day turns before. I think I prefer it. 3-day turns is too long. I don't think I would ever play 3-day turns. 1-day turns, this is too big of a bear, I think, to play 1-day turns. So two's nice, but the problem is the carriers can really zip around the map, and we've gotten caught out before because of that. Spoiler alert, there's some carriers on the move that we'll see in an upcoming episode. But they move so fast with these 2-day turns because I mean it's four pulses. You get the morning pulse, the afternoon pulse. Before you know it, they've really covered some nautical miles. So anyway, I tease all of this. It's not going to happen this episode, believe me. We're going to jump in here, see what Mr. Lodrick had. Now, if I was going to say what I was looking for this time, Lodrick has taken Singapore and he's going to start moving down towards Java. Now, he's also going to jump across the strait to Sumatra. So, if you think about the Malaysian peninsula, as he moves west, he'll go directly into Sumatra, which contains Palembang, a huge oil and fuel center. And then a little bit south of Singapore, obviously, is Java, another of the Dutch East Indies. And that's going to be a real scrap when he gets there. We don't have as much in Sumatra. So that's going on. Uh, he's starting trying to take over the airs above Rangoon. We did a really nice job last time, I thought, of fighting that off. Other than that, Port Moresby, obviously. So it's the most of the action right now is centered on him jumping over to Sumatra, down to Java. The skies over Rangoon and the skies over Port Moresby. He's also doing landings there in Papua New Guinea near Port Moresby. Okay, let's jump in. That's what's kind of going on this time, or what I'll be looking for. And who knows what else may pop up as we go along. And we're off. Sorry, I had recorded this episode before and I put it up on the channel earlier today, and I guess I had something running in the background when I was recording it. And you were getting a lot of advertisements, so I'm re-recording it here. Believe me, that first one, gosh, that was the best episode I've ever made. That's what I'll tell everybody. Nah, probably not. I always do a better job the second time whenever I have some reason I have to re-record. So you get a bonus. You get bonus dojo here for any of you that logged in and said, "Oh, okay, he's got a new episode up," and then just heard some lady very loudly in an advertisement talking right over the top of me. Okay, it's nighttime. First thing we usually see are the coast watchers, what they're reporting from the overnight. But first of all, actually, we're going to see bombardment of Monado. Now, if you're new to the game, it's very important as a Japanese player and then later as an Allied player to know how to bombard. That's what these light cruisers really are best at, I feel like. Light cruisers and cruisers, very good. Now, you saw that shell hit right here. Now, he's firing his guns, but we had a shell hit there. We have coastal guns here. They have not done as good a job as I'm used to them doing, um, even against another human. Now, against the AI, they'll really tear up the AI. The AI is fairly bad at bombardment, I feel like. You can see here what the makeup of his bombardment suite here, his task force. Two light cruisers, then destroyers, which, they can do bombardment. They generally are not going to do a whole lot of damage, but he sends those along in case we have subs in the area. 11 coastal gunshot in defense. We did not hit anything. He hit the airbase supply, runway, port hits 4, supply hits 1. That's all doing damage. And you'll see your ports and your airbases start to degrade as he does do that bombardment. All right, we had something failing down there by Perth. And you'll see that as things try to limp back to port, you'll see sometimes their flotation starts to fail, and the game will let you know that. Now, there's not necessarily a whole lot you can do about it. If it's already damaged, it's limping back there. The game automatically gives damaged ships an S score, puts an E over them, and those things are supposed to kind of lead them back to port. All right, Dutch sub trying to get in the action. The Dutch subs have not done nearly as much damage as I'm used to them doing. This looks like an ASW attack, though. He's got an SC here. Looks like that found us. Yep, sure enough. ASW attack near Dongala. No damage on either side, though. We'll take that since he found us. Another Dutch sub. Okay, this is just off Sinkwang. So this was the first battle here in the Celebes Sea. Nothing happening there. Now we're over by Sinkwang. Looks like maybe he's found us yet again. He's doing a good job with the anti-sub work here around the Dutch East Indies. SC, yep, he found us. ASW, we took 10 hits. Now, we don't see heavy damage or fires or anything, so we should survive, but we did take 10 hits. And I would imagine that's scary as hell in a submarine. I'm just guessing. Just guessing there. Now you can see with these reports, they're from planes. These are recon, naval search, could be fighters if they're up, and they're reporting back what they're seeing here. So this phase of the game is your kind of air patrol, I would call it. And as you know, if our detection level's high enough, it'll put them on the map, the enemy forces. Okay, 30 zeros look like they're flying straight over Batavia, doing a little sweep here, seeing if we have anything in cap. We do, B339s, and they're dispatched easily by the zeros. How many did we lose? We got 9 up in the air, we lost 3. That's going to happen often. But with those Dutch planes, what the hell else are you going to do with them? You may as well put them up in cap. Now, we'd love to catch one of his bombing runs and maybe shoot down some bombers. But usually a smart player like Lodrick is going to be bringing fighters on the way. 27 Oscars decided to sweep out over Rangoon. Now, this is a different story. We've got just as good a pilots out here in Rangoon, and these Hurricane 2A Trops are good planes. And let's see how we handle these Oscars or how they handle us. He sweeps out and over, and you see we destroyed 3 Oscars. He destroyed one of the Flying Tigers and 1 Trop. So we get the better of him a little bit there. But he's got this 30 in again. We get more cap up. He's trying to wear out the cap. Coming back over. We'll see what the results here were. You see, we only got 4 planes up. 4 against 30. That's not fair. And we did lose a Hurricane 2A Trop. The 2B is a better plane, but 2A is not bad, certainly. So now we're 3-3 out over the skies of Rangoon. 15 zeros over Quelin. It's the only place I've still got cap up. And unfortunately, they're not going to be long for the world. Those I-16s, they can't do it. They don't have the pilots. It's not a good enough plane. Zeros are going to slice and dice there. We only lose, we lose one of the 2. Now, interestingly, starting to sweep back up here on the plateau. Now, Chungking is your capital at this point. It's where all of your reserves come in. Your reserve headquarters is here. Your overall headquarters is here. Up on this plateau, it's hard for the Japanese to get up there, and your job is keep them off this plateau. He's already starting to sweep up here, though. And so I would imagine the bombing's coming in the not too distant future. 17 Oscars back over Rangoon. We did get some flying tigers up, it looked like. Let's see. Nobody lost anything. So it was 17 on 1. I don't like those odds even in Vegas. But we didn't lose anything there. Neither did he. He's bombing into the Loyang stack. This is the groups that came here and out of Loyang. They've come down the road. I'm trying to get them the hell out of here, but he has just bombed them. Mercy, mercy. Uh, 4 damaged planes, 8 casualties. Well, we'll certainly take that, but there's more coming, I'm sure. And sure enough, here comes 20 Marys to hit the Loyang stack. We damaged 1 plane, and he missed us. Okay. Severe storms. And if you ever see this, no casualties on the bombing, especially, he's got his good bombers over here. Go up here and look. Yep, severe storms in the hex makes it very difficult, obviously. Here comes a big bombing run into southeastern and one of the southeastern stacks. We damage 1 plane, we take 86 casualties. Now that's what we don't want. 1 to 86, not a good enough trade-off. 6 ANs come in on a secondary bombing run. They cause 8 more casualties. All right, this is a stack. So here's the Loyang stack, right? Here's a stack just south of Nanyang. I'm trying to get them out as well. He's got a very strong force here, and he's got the other smaller forces that keep blocking us. He takes no losses here, and we take 199 casualties on the ground. Jiminy whiz. Coming in at Wu Chao. This is a sweep with Tojo's. Tojo's coming in at 16,000 feet, partially cloudy skies. We've got no cap down there. 7 straggling Oscars come out over Rangoon. We're too tired to even throw up cap. We're just like, I don't, let them fly over, check out the town. Okay, bombing that south of Nanyang stack again. 1 damaged plane, 28 casualties there. All right. This is a group down here in Southeast China that we've almost got across the river. Finally. Trying to get these guys out. 2 damaged planes, 12 casualties on that bombing. All right. Now, this is our ground troops sighting uh, different Japanese aircraft flying around. So you kind of have 3 different phases. You have coast watchers, that are out here. They'll tell you where some ships are as they sail by. You have your air recon and naval search that goes over. That'll tell you where some of his naval assets are. And then you have your troops on the ground that tell you, where his planes are or other troops. Okay, 6 Sonias, no damage done there. And again, more of these sightings by. Okay, here come the zeros flying back here at Kianko. 13 zeros. He's just seeing what's back here. Usually as a Chinese player, you'll put all of your fighters back here at Chungking. I didn't do that this time. It's kind of predictable. And he's going to tear them up no matter where they are unless you just flat out hide them. Okay, 36 zeros now in and over Surabaya. Now that's a pretty long flight for fighters out of Balikpapan. Leads me to believe he does have a carrier or two in the area, just like up here when he swept over Batavia, he probably had one or two up here. One B339 gets up against 36 zeros. That's never going to go well for us. He's just sweeping the town. We had 1 plane, so we did get 3 up in cap. We only had 1 destroyed. The other 2 bugged out. Rangoon, 40 Oscars, sweep Rangoon. We do not put up a cap. All right, these are our planes doing sightings again. Excuse me. This time for the afternoon pulse. Now, one thing to keep in mind with these sightings is if you see something that you think may be interesting, um, go and check the pilots that cited that. I mean, you're going to kind of know where your recon aircraft are, or naval search aircraft are, or where they're probably coming out of that have cited this. Go look at the pilots because if their naval search, or in the case of recon score is really low, there's a pretty decent chance it may be wrong, the information they give you. Okay, this is the Yan'an group, so we've been trying to get these guys out forever. I've got this stack headed towards Lan Chao, which is very important to hold Lan Chao. This other part of the stack I've got kind of fainting back towards Pao Tao. Then I'll try to get it on the road and I'll bring it to Lan Chao as well. We damaged 7 planes. We took 28 casualties. Okay. Sally's and Ann's in here on this group by Yanan again. We damaged 3 more planes. So we damaged 10 planes total. We only took 13 casualties on the second run. All right, now this is our troops are sighting different kinds of aircraft flying over the top. Once you play this enough, you just kind of get the rhythm of how a turn goes. Now we should, we'll see. There might be a little more bombing here. Let's hope not. All right, he's actually going to land here at Sabang. So again, he comes in here for the bombardment. He's got a cruiser at least out here. Now he's been sending it with a lot of destroyers, generally speaking. And you can see here, 2 cruisers, 2 destroyers, and the AP. They're carrying the troops, right? Look at this. So we had 13 coastal guns shot in defense. We don't hit anything again. 546 casualties. That's the difference between cruisers and light cruisers. When you saw the light cruisers, where was that? Monado, I believe. They don't do nearly that much damage. Here we get 546 casualties, and now his troops are going to hit the beach. So he's tried to soften us up a little bit, and now he's put some troops down. He takes 24 casualties on the landing. That happens, landing craft overturns, just fire, the small arms fire from the beach, that kind of stuff. All right, now we're on to the land move attack phase. And it looks like, yep, this is the attack on Buna. This is one of his Marine type units, 84th Naval Guard. We had this decoy NG rifles out here. This is broken up into several different, koi bits. I think they're the size. I don't want to call them a regiment. I don't think they're as big as a regiment. I think if you put it all together, it might be like a battalion or a regiment. But anyway, they had like nothing left. I mean, they had 158 troops. We had sort of run out of supply at Buna. I'm not able to get any in there. We were flying some out for a while. Didn't seem worth it. So he rather easily captures that. And now these guys are falling back to Port Moresby. And now you can see the same situation. The A Koi and C Koi had been in lay. Now they're getting kicked out of every nice place in Papua New Guinea, and they're going to get knocked over to this base, right? So they're going to go over to Wow. Wow. Wah. It's probably Wah. Wow. Wah. I bet you it's Wah. Okay. I don't know. I'm having a real discussion with myself here. I'll have to look that up. But anyway, he only had 378 troops. We had 259. 16 to 12. That's not bad. I'm not sure why it was so, one-sided here. I'm kind of angry about that actually. He took 19 casualties. We took 43. Okay, this is Bengalis. This is in the swamp over here. So Sumatra is a swamp. I'm not sure. Is that where they grow the coffee? Maybe. That's where I'd like to visit if I went to Sumatra. But it is swamp out here. Bengalis is your one base in the middle of this muck, and he has kicked us out of it. We took 22 casualties. Okay, well, sorry guys. They surrendered. There wasn't much there. Ambon, this is us bombarding him. So he's landed out here with the 82nd Naval Guard unit, his Marines. Um, And he didn't land here with enough force. And we have just been lobbing shells out of our base onto him. He hasn't been able to take the base, and I don't believe with what he's got there now, he is going to be able to take it. So he's going to have to land more troops, which that's kind of a miscalculation for him. That really, slows things down when you got to get another group of transports or transport, get it all the way back down there, land more troop. I mean, you can tell by that time it could be 2 weeks' time has gone by, if not more. Okay, so that's the main action that happened February 9th. We'll be jumping over to February 10th here after we see some of the new things that came in and the fortifications being built. I do have some things going in for refit. I will be honest with you, I would have rather these AKs not have gone in for refit. I just didn't happen to turn them off. Now, I had them all turned off at one point. Sometimes if they're in a port and you've got that button that you can click that says turn them all on, if I don't notice the AKs that were in there, this is what happens. So it doesn't take that long. It'll be a few days. They'll be back out. They'll probably have a little more capacity. So, why not? It's not didn't really hurt anything. It does take some supply. It can also gum up your shipyards too if you got too much in there at one time. All right, so we're replacing things, merging subunits. All right, 19th Bomber Group is showing up in Townsville, or at least parts of it. Other parts of it are in Brisbane now. That's good. I think those are those Marauders. I really like those for naval attack purposes. All right, it's already flipped over to February 10th of 1942. He took Salamanca. All right. He has taken Buna. He's taken Leh. So his advance in Papua New Guinea continues. Unloading at Sabang. You see the bombardment there. We take another 110 casualties here at Sabang. Those cruisers, they pack a punch. There are thunderstorms over the Japanese home islands. A portent of that to come. I wish. All right, more unloading there at Sabang. Now he's decided to unload at Vanimo. Oh, Vanimo. All right, cool. I mean, we didn't have anything there. He's taken that whole kind of eastern side of the island. All right, Rabal. We're just, we're citing things. Amphibious Task Force unloading some more at Vanimo. Made me think of the old Van Morrison song "Oh Domino." Okay, merging. Now, supposedly, we just saw 7 Japanese ships off the coast of Alaska. I find that very hard to believe. We saw a submarine, not a yellow submarine. Catalina's seeing things. These are again, this is our air recon and search out looking for stuff. Okay, sweep over Quelin. You remember we had some I-16s there. He shot one down yesterday. How many did he get today? He got another one. All right, well, just let him know. Ooh, out over Chungking. Now we do have couple of flying tigers at Chungking. All that we have left in China. We also have a lot of AA, But if he comes in, yeah, he came in at 21,000 feet, trying to avoid our anti-aircraft. Up there above 20,000 feet, going to be hard unless we have the more specialized later on allied, high altitude anti-aircraft. But we don't, certainly the Chinese don't have that. Two zeros over the top. All right, and this is over at Kianko. Again, he's just sweeping. It's interesting. He's going this deep back here by the plateau, though. He's being very aggressive. 13 Bettys. Okay, looks like they're going to hit something on the ocean. Yep, they're going to hit two of our local minesweepers. So we had two local minesweepers out here, Merbabo and the Ingano. Okay, they both got hit by torpedoes. Well, they're 1 point each. I don't like to lose them, of course, but if you're going to lose anything, you know what I say, lose 1 point ships. 36 zeros came over Surabaya, just to make sure we're paying attention, I guess. Now he's bombing just east of Yan'an, on the east of Yan'an stock. Stock? Stack! Stack! I'm thinking stocks. Got to look at my portfolio. 5 damage planes, 7 casualties, 70. 27 Sally's in on that group. 2 damage planes. I'll take that. Southeastern stack down here. It's just I'm having these guys just go down to Fu Chao. I'm going to put them on the beach in Fu Chao, let them hang out. It seems like dangerous pay down there, but sure, why not? 42 casualties on the ground. Doesn't look like we hurt any of their planes. 46 bombers in on these guys again. 1 damage plane, 49 casualties. These guys must have sore necks from looking up to the skies. 6 ANs over the top of them this time. 5 casualties on the ground. 12 Idas bombed the south of Nanyang stack. 31 casualties reported. No planes were hurt that we know of. 31 more bombers. 1 damage plane, 98 casualties. That's pretty good return for him there. East of Yan'an stock. God, I did it again. 1 damage plane, no casualties. All right, Sonia's into the group that's trying to get across the river. 2 damage planes, 7 casualties. All right, sweep over Kianko. Sounds like that could be the name of a play. 13 zeros, just swept over the top. All right, these are our planes that have sighted things, or at least they think they have. Now, see, those Catalinas think that they've seen 9 Japanese ships near um, the main Hawaiian Islands. No, they haven't. I mean, we would know that long before that, so it's just mistaken information. Again, it's one of the reasons I really, really love this game. Those kind of touches when it comes to Fog of War. Look at all these sightings. My gosh. Who are the people sitting there at the? How did they used to do it? They had the board up there with the, different wires you're plugging in. Like, we've got 9 Japanese ships. Doesn't look like a whole lot's going to happen this turn unless something jumps. The snake bites up and jumps up and bites us. SS Cachalot coming in here. Who found whom? ASW attack. So he found the Cachalot with this CM. Nothing happened. He didn't even drop depth. Okay, these troops getting off at Vanamo. It's amazing how many sub turns happen in each turn. The game goes through this whole menu of stuff. This is us bombarding again here at Ambon. So he's landed on the beach, and we are lobbing shells. We're not showing any casualties, but we wouldn't really know. I'm certain Lodric would get casualty numbers. We just know that we put big bombs over there where we launch them. All right. Well, that is really going to do it for February 10th. We're going to go back around here, or the game is, and show us, where fortifications are building up and also any new units that we get on the map. We saw 19th Bomber showed up in Australia. Or yesterday, I was going to say last turn, but it's all part of the same turn. We get a new AK. Looks like we get a couple of them at Cape Town. 18th Australian Brigade shows up at Aden, and we get a new division in Chongqing. Always like that. So anyway, I think that's going to do it. That's the end of this combat resolution. Not a whole lot happened here. Looks like he's got his carriers around the Surabaya, Batavia area. I mean, he was running zeros, and I don't think he has any bases close enough to run sweeps. Singapore's almost a little out of range for that. I guess he could be doing it potentially. Well, anyway, his other carriers are obviously right over by Port Moresby. They continue to, harass us out there. Ultimately, that's going to be a ground battle, and we'll just see how long we can hold him off. In this game, I don't think we're going to keep him from taking Port Moresby, but hey, we'll see. Anyway, this has been Strategy Gaming Dojo. When I come back next time, we're going to go around the map, check out the stats, try to go around the whole map if we can, and maybe, look at Midway, Johnston Island, that kind of thing. So anyway, Strategy Gaming Dojo. Talk to you next time. Have a great one.